Good afternoon, folks. This is John Pettipas recording on the afternoon of Friday, the first day of May. Welcome back. We're starting a new series, and I welcome all you wonderful people on YouTube throughout America, Canada, and there's somebody down in Australia. So we're covering at least two continents in the world and 3 countries, which is wonderful. We appreciate each and every one of you, one of the subscribers. Anyway, the new series we'll start now is on farming. You see here? Dakota. I love these coveralls. You know, Dakota, that's the North Dakota, the land of Lawrence Welk. Now, look here. We have a hoe. Nice. That's another new series is in gardening, I should explain. Gardening. So here, going to be a weekly series for next few months. We're going to call it out. You heard of a victory garden? Well, we won World War II partly because of victory gardens. This is our Defeat Corona garden. Again, I'm going to repeat. Defeat Corona garden. Great. This is a wonderful grub hoe. And it's ho, 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 but it's not Santa Claus. It's ho, ho, ho with your hoe. Okay, that's excellent. Ho, ho, ho. Not to be confused with the jolly fellow in the red suit at Christmas time with his trusty little bell. Okay, back to gardening. The time of the recording is 12:40 noon, 40 minutes after high noon, on Friday, the first day of May 2020. Welcome back again. There's lots of stuff you can plant in your garden early. I'm in Nova Scotia, and it's cooler climate here, but people can plant stuff early. You get out in the garden with your hoe, and you hoe, get stuff. If your soil's been tilled last year, you can just work it up this year, and that's fine. Harrow it. If it's a new garden, well, you have to get it plowed up, or then with your rototiller, and then after it dries a bit, you harrow it up again, and you get out with your hoe. Now, there's some things you can plant early, and some little tools in. It doesn't have to be expensive to plant a garden. This is the most expensive thing I have. It's a trusty grub hoe. Trusty grub hoe, and it's a good, strong, sturdy hoe. I find these here garden gloves are good. Garden gloves. Garden gloves come in very handy. A cap, keep the sun off your head, and like this. Good. Cap. Leave it on for the rest of the show. And a trusty little claw. A claw thing to get stones out of the way and clumps of weeds and stuff like that there. So there's many, many things we can plant early. And my order came yesterday from the Halifax Seed Company. Halifax Seed. Canada was founded in 1867. As a country, Halifax Seed was founded in 1866. They're a year older than the nations, and that's pretty darn good. Okay, here we have yellow Dutch onion sets. That's my favorite. Those are your cooking onions. You make pickles with them, make salads with them, whatever. Yellow Dutch onions. They come in a bag like this here as bulbs. You get 100 in a bag. I get 4 bags, so there's 400 onions. That's yellow Dutch onions. And they're great keepers. They're not hard to grow, and they're great keepers. A lot of people are intimidated with gardening. And it's tough. It's tough. You don't have. We all start off somewheres, and we don't have to know a lot about it. Not a lot about it. We just learn as we go. Okay? Here we have red onions. These are, you can eat them like an apple. Maybe, and they're mild. They're nice. They're a beautiful onion. Red onion. I started growing these, bought them, fellow up the road, and great. And at the Boyle Farms, and then I started growing some last year, and this year I got 2 bags of them. And these are Spanish onions. These grow big. They're kind of fun to grow. You get them big as a saucer. Anyway, they don't keep quite as well because they're so big. So you plant them, use them during the summer. Nice tops them too, and nice mild flavor. People that do fried foods can make onion rings with them. Onion rings as well if they want to do that. But they're lovely onion. They don't keep quite as well. The best keepers by far are yellow Dutch or the red onions. They're both wonderful. Now, last and one thing I do is, give me a second here, one of my little notes fell here. This is garden, see? I make a list in the back of an old envelope, okay? And I take and I put the item and a date planted and the area was planted. And so you can use as reference saving next year, and you can see how, depending on how the spring weather is in the area, you can keep a track of how things were going compared to the previous year. Last night, I planted spinach. Seed left over from last year, started out, and I finished the rest of it. I got seed that was, it's Bloomingdale spinach. It's Bloomingdale. Long standing, only takes 45 days. See, from the trusty, wonderful folks at the Halifax Seed Company. Located in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and St. John, New Brunswick. They take and they ship everywhere. So they do catalogs, order online, they'll ship it to you. It's a wonderful product. You don't have to plant it all at once. You can plant 2 plantings. Plant that first, and maybe 3 weeks later plant a second, because spinach comes up really quick. It's only 45 days. Another item you can plant right now is Swiss chard. Swiss is wonderful Swiss chard, and you can freeze it in the fall of the year, late summer, fall. You get all kinds. Blanch it in a pot, and it's just like having a vacuum. You put it in plastic bags, put it in the lower part of your freezer. You have it all winter with hamburgers, a vegetable, whatever. It's wonderful. Broad beans, not regular beans. They're tender, but broad beans are tough. I like Windsor Conquistador beans, and they're wonderful. They're great beans. Now, broad beans, they're good in soup. They're something like lima beans. And peas, the same idea. This is Laxton's Progress peas, only 62 days. It's a favorite of mine. And they're, again, you can plant them early. They are not tender. They're tough. They're tough. So both the broad beans and the peas seeds, you can soak them in water in the morning. You plant them the night before, and they kind of swell up because they're a dried seed. And you put them in water the night before, and they'll germinate early in your garden. One last thing before we go, dear friends. This here is artichokes. They're known as Jerusalem artichokes, okay? And they're like a little potato, and they've been in the ground all winter. Now, I was digging them up last night. This one got cut in half, so you can see what it's like inside. They're creamy, nice taste about them. You put them in rice, you cook them as vegetable, put them in your stir fry, and once they get going, the sun's gone. So they're probably the most carefree thing you ever do. So you don't want to plant them by the rest of the garden because they'll take over. Plant them by the shed. Plant them by the whatever. Spot that you don't mind if they spread out, because they will take over, and every year they come up. They're the easiest thing in the world to plant. This is the little one I brought in. It's the Jerusalem artichoke, which can be planted as can you see it okay? Jerusalem artichoke. You plant that one as a starter for this year. And after, you only plant them 1 year. After that, they keep coming back. So just to recap what we did today, early stuff you can plant early. Onion sets, be they yellow Dutch, red onions, or Spanish onions. Swiss chard, spinach, the greens. You can plant them early. Greens is very healthy for you. And broad beans, that's the tough broad beans, and peas. Both of those items, those type of seeds as well, can be planted outside early. So, till next time, this is John Pettipas, the first week doing, this is going to be an ongoing series. YouTube is often something to educate people to learn. So, it's not hard to plant a garden, folks. Start off, and one thing I made a mistake over the years, I don't have a lot of patience, I plant my seeds too close together. Don't do that. Not good. Okay, because they come up quickly, but then they don't have enough room to grow big. So, it says right in the package, plant them anytime from mid-April to May. This is for one of the spinach I'm using here. And plant them a half an inch deep and 1 inch apart. And so your plants grow bigger. The same here with the Swiss chard. Wonderful Dutch gentleman told me 1, 2, 3, like you say in French. 1, 2, 3. You plant one seed, a little way, another seed, second seed, and a third seed. Move inch or two in case of beans or peas that are going to get bigger, and then do that again, and you'll get just as much. In fact, you get more crop. You use less seed, and you'll have a bigger harvest. So until next time, this is John Pettipas, wishing all you wonderful people out in computer land. By the way, we have a YouTube funding account now to keep these videos on the air on the wonderful computer machine, the internet. You can look under John P. Pettipas on YouTube, and you're so kind or generous, want to help out, just send a donation, and it's greatly appreciated. It goes to good cause, we record history and how to stuff like this gardening program. Everything from onion sets to Laxton's Progress Peas. Until next time again, this is John Pettipas, wishing all you wonderful people out there in television land and computer land and gardening land all the best, and God bless. Thank you very much for viewing, and we're going to do this every week for next month and a half or so, all nice stuff we can do in gardening. So just get out there and do it. We all got to learn, and you can save a lot of money, and you have nice, fresh, healthy vegetables. Thank you. Bye. Tell your friends about this new show too, this new series within our John Pettipas YouTube channel. Thank you. Bye, and happy gardening to all.